If you were stuck in 2024, it does not mean that it has to be that way for 2025. It doesn't matter whether you're thinking about your finances, your relationships, your career. It does not matter, because where you are today is because of the decisions that you and I made yesterday or last year or years in the past. My point is, we're going to make better decisions and we're going to execute differently in 2025 so that we can get better results, so that we can move from where we are to where we desire to be. You see, if you made some bad decisions in 2024, it's in the past. We can forget about that. You're not alone. We all made some mistakes. You know, if you've watched some of my other videos, you know, and I'm open with some of my history. You know, I filed bankruptcy. I'm in my second marriage. Now, this one's been good for 32 years, so I think I'm gonna be okay on it. But there was a first marriage, so there was some mistakes. In my life, I've had over 10 different businesses. Some failed, some succeeded. In fact, more failed than succeeded, but yet here I am today living the life of my dream. So failures don't determine your destiny. It doesn't determine where you're going to be. So know that we have all made some mistakes, and we will continue to make, but we will get through it and thrive. You know, Earl Nightingale, he once said that we're all self-made, but only the successful will admit it. Point was that whether you're successful or not, you're still self-made. You're the reason why you are where you are. Now, and I'm the reason why I am where I am. Now, we have to acknowledge and take responsibility for our actions or non-actions. You know, in my case, when I look back at my life, I think it's more so about non-actions. I didn't do things that I know I needed to do. I was a procrastinator, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm still a procrastinator, but you know, I am where I am. Even with the procrastination, I have made progress, and so can you. But from the failures that we've made, it's necessary that we learn and grow from those failures, from those mistakes, if we're going to become the person we're meant to be. So for 2025, who will you become? Who will you be? What do you want? What are the goals that you have for this year? Well, I have a challenge for you here in January of 2025. My challenge is for number one, I want you to identify where you are now, financially, relationally, etc. Whatever is going on in your life, all the aspects of your life, I want you to identify them. I want you to sit down, take notes, talk to your significant other, and or a good friend. Talk about where you are. Identify it, acknowledge it, because it happened. It's that you're here. Then I want you to set a 1-year goal. Now, I often ask people to set a 5-year goal, but for this year, we're going to say set a 1-year goal, where you're going to be at the end of 2025. Then I want you to set one for 6 months, a 6-month goal, then a 1-month goal. Now that you have those goals, I want you to create a path or a plan for each. How are you going to get there? What's the path? You know, say for example, your desire is to buy a new home by the end of 2025. Well, what you're gonna need, a credit plan. You're gonna need to, map it out. How you're going to improve your credit, because you know that if your credit score is low, you're gonna pay a higher interest rate. So you want a 700, 750 credit score before the end of 2025 so that you can get the best interest rate possible. So the point is, create a path, create a plan. That plan might be 6 months from now. Here we go, bringing the 1 year, the 6 month, and the 3-month, 1-month goal together now. By the end of this month, you're going to contact all your creditors and see what it takes to pay off the debt. Then your 6-month goal, one of your 6 months goal might be to pay down your debt by 50%, so that by the end of the year, your debt is down to 0, so that your credit score goes up. So you see how that works? One goal leads into the next. But if you don't have a goal, then you're just wandering. you're going to be in the same spot in the following year. And then lastly, I want you to start executing. Start doing the things that it's going to take to get you to that final destination, that final goal. Remember, what you do today is going to determine where you are tomorrow. So get it done. In wrapping this up, I just briefly want to talk about a coaching session that I just did this morning. And I didn't get this person's permission to talk about this, so we're just going to call her Phil. Like many of us, Phil, she's a great person, a big heart, but over the years, she's gotten stuck in everyone else's problems. So she was so stuck in everyone else's problems, she didn't have the opportunity or didn't recognize that she wasn't focusing on herself. She never made the priority self. She didn't take the time to think, okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z to accomplish these financial goals. I need to do this or that to correct the path that I'm headed down. And here she is today, in her 50s, and she has some regrets. But, I told her, hey, you can turn this thing around. I remember in 1 year, I think it may have been 2007, I had a net worth of over $1 million. But by 2009, I was in bankruptcy. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can turn the ship around. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be overnight, but you can turn the ship around. You will turn the ship around. And it begins in 2025 for you. All right. You ever heard the story about, or you've been on an airplane, and when you get on the airplane, they're telling you what you do, what you don't do, what all the rules are on the airplane. They'll tell you about the oxygen mask. If the plane loses oxygen, one of the things that they want you to do is reach up and grab the mask. And they specifically tell you, if you have a child with you, put your oxygen mask on first, because if you don't, you may pass out, therefore you won't be able to help the child. So put your mask on, then the child. Well, the point is, in Phil's case, you have to help yourself. Help yourself. I want you to focus on in 2025, I want you to focus on helping you, building a stronger foundation so that you can. You're a good person. You're a generous person. You want to help people. You want to change the world, but you can't change the world if you can't take care of yourself. So I want you to shore up in 2025, shore up your foundation, become stronger, smarter, and wealthier. It's okay to want wealth. It's okay to be wealthy, rich, and to have the things, in life that you want, because then you can help others. After you finish this video, I want you to identify, plot the path, and start taking action. All right. I appreciate you watching the video. I want you to like, subscribe, and share, and be blessed.